Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode. Today we're talking about Illuvium and their very first NFT sale that they're having, an NFT land sale. We're going to be going through and how you can get involved in this, dates and everything. Before we get into today's video, we're just going to have a little short introduction from our sponsors of today's video. They will be sponsoring the Watch to Earn, so if you want to have a chance to win one of 3 lots of $50 US, all you got to do is go down into the comment section, post the watch code that will appear at a random point during today's video, go into our Discord, which is in the description, post your YouTube name and your wallet address, and you'll have a chance to be entered. Right, check out our sponsors. Today's video is sponsored by Chief Toad, the world's first story-based NFT collection. Chief Toad NFTs is G-Link's platform NFT. G-Link is a platform that is setting themselves out to be the Steam of mobile play-to-earn gaming. With Chief Toad, holders will be entitled to higher in-game payouts and are automatically whitelisted for IDOs. Chief Toad clearly distinguishes itself from other NFT projects, starting from the art, with its references to traditional art styles and inspired by manga and anime. Chief Toad is primarily a utility NFT. It gives players early access to games, allows you to form guilds, and also gives you early access to the purchasing of meta lands. The mint date is to be confirmed, but you'll be able to mint for 0.0 ETH. Each wallet will be limited to only 2 mints. The best way to gain access to this and get hold of the whitelist spot is to be able to join their Discord, which you'll find all the links to their socials down below. There will be 888 whitelists available. Giveaways and clues will be in the Discord, so join the Discord and get engaged. The project is doing well to get themselves out there and get themselves on some reputable press sites. I think this is all about the utility. If you want to have an NFT that gives you access to other games and early whitelist spots, definitely go get your hand on one of these Chief Toads. Okay, let's get into today's video. So Illuvium is probably one of the highest quality games out there. It looks to be a truly exciting metaverse that has loads of different styles of gameplay. As you can see here, there is the battle or auto battler that they have, which has a lot of strategy to it, not just talking about, you know, matching against other opponents, but also positioning of them, and the quality of it's just so next level compared to anything we've seen in the NFT gaming space. But today we are talking about the land sale that they have going on, because this has just been announced in detail. We have the dates, June the 2nd to June the 5th. From 1 PM UTC to 1 PM UTC on the 5th of June, you can have a chance to pick up some Illuvium land. Land will be able to be purchased via ETH or using SILV2 on their official Illuvidex marketplace. Perks of owning this land. So there is tier 1 to 5, 5 being the highest rarity. It's connected to the earning side of the Illuvium economy. The land generates fuel that can be sold for ETH. Approximately 5% of all in-game fuel revenues will go to the landholders. So we've got it producing Kryptons, Solons, and Hyperions. You can scan your land for alluvial biodata and research. This is to generate rare blueprint NFTs that can be sold for ETH or used for crafting new cosmetic armor and item skins. Elements are used to construct structures. Fuel is used for constructing advanced structures and can be sold for ETH, and arenas will be able to generate additional income from tournaments and sponsorships. We have the tier system listed here with the amount of sites that you'll hold on them. So tier 5 will hold 15, so 5 times more than tier 1, which will have 3. It'll have 1 fuel site on the tier 1 and then 12 on the tier 5. So you can already see that the production is going to be significantly increased. Now for the landmark class, there is nothing for tier 1 and tier 2, but tier 3 will be element, tier 4 fuel, and then tier 5 will be arena. Production boost will be 0% on tier 1, 33% for tier 2, 100% for tier 3, going all the way up to 900% for tier 5. The total plots on each first sale will be limited. You see a reduction the higher the tier. Tier 5, there will only be 2. And that is going to be sold very differently from everything else, which is going to be Dutch auction. It's going to be an English auction. So how this works is we have a starting price for tier 1 of 2 ETH. Being that there are 12,029 plots and taking into account the NFT gaming market at the moment, I don't think these are going to sell very quickly. I think they're going to, you'll see a good portion of this because Illuvium is such a big game, but everything in the NFT market that's selling 10,000 has not sold out. So this will be a really test whether, you know, the best game coming out whether that will actually have the strength to sell all those items. But the benefit of a Dutch auction is whilst it starts at 2 ETH, which is roughly about $4,000, it may seem quite expensive, but with the Dutch auction system, over time you will see the price of those lands decrease. So in the Dutch auction, the land price starts out inflated and continues to decrease at a rate of 2.5% per minute over a 2-hour period, or until a buyer is found. Now bear in mind that this is the first of what will likely be 5 sales, because there's 20,000 in this sale out of a possible 100,000. The English auction is the standard type where bids are placed that are increased at the price until the auction time is reached. So it's going to be just, you know, if somebody says, I'm going to bid 10 ETH, if somebody outbids that, they're going to have the chance to pick up that land. Being that tier 4 starts at 80 ETH, you're probably looking for it to get to about 10% by the end of the last couple of minutes of the Dutch auction. So what you'd take from this is probably you would be able to pick up some tier 1 if they didn't sell out for about 0.2 ETH, which is roughly about $400. 6 ETH, 0.6, you're looking at $1,200 for tier 2. Tier 2, tier 4, $4,000 potentially. Tier 5, 8 ETH, you're looking at about $16,000. And so tier 5 could go for a significant amount. It does seem like the Illuvium land is a key thing to have to be able to be part of the ecosystem there. The fact that it produces more NFTs and tokens that you can own and play in Illuvium Zero, the mobile and desktop companion game. Landowners will generate residual income of playing a fun game that rewards them for the time. So it's really, I find that if you're buying NFTs at the moment, you know, buy them to play the game, and if it's a game like this, because you're not going to see a heavy amount of ROI unless the game takes off significantly. Because I think if you're buying a land for $10, I don't think $10 goes back into the ecosystem all the time. Sometimes you might see like a 50% portion of that, and then the other 50% goes to the development team. And it's very hard to make ROI unless the value of the assets that it's producing doubles, and then you can start to see some ROI from it. We've also got to take into account is that this is Illuvium Metaverse. It's going to be one of the biggest metaverses out there, and it's going to have a variety of different games, and players will be able to use the Fuel as currency in all future Illuvium game releases. So think long term in terms of this game. Don't just think, okay, I'm trying to make ROI in the next month. Think, you know, 2, 3 years, 4 years down the line, is Illuvium going to be the biggest game development studios in the NFT space? And if it is, you know, they could be significantly higher in value. We've got the ability to scan biodata on these lands and research to generate these rare blueprints NFTs. So these will be important for crafting, creating demand on Illuvidex. You got to take into account not just that you're trying to make earnings through the tokens that you'll get, but also through the NFTs that you would generate. But unless this game attracts thousands and thousands of people, you've got 10, 20,000 pieces of land generating these NFTs. So the demand for them might be very low initially, and therefore the price of these NFTs might be very, very low as well. What's cool is that landowners will be able to keep the blueprint NFTs obtained during the Illuvium Zero Alpha as their way of saying thank you for early participation. So this is not something usually you would see things not being given out in alpha, sometimes not even in beta. But it's nice that you're seeing some reward for those early supporters of the game, early people who actually play it and test out some of the bugs of it. Land will exist in one of 7 regions of the world that each drone was dispatched to. Each region has common alluvials of a particular affinity that are more likely to pass through it. And it's possible to own multiple plots of land. There's no limit to how many you can own. So you might want to even pick up a couple so that you can maybe get alluvials from different areas. You can also connect adjacent land to form a mega city. So there could be a lot of value in holding a lot of lands that are close right next to each other. You've got land renting will be available as well. This will allow players to lease their plots to other players for profit sharing, and is a confirmed feature in development. So down the line, you know, again, 2-3 years, it might be very profitable for you to be able to rent out some of the land. If we see those 100,000 lands being picked up, I just don't think we've seen a game attract 100,000 people to it for a prolonged amount of time, sustain, you know, people who are continuing to play it. And you don't want to attract 100,000. They're going to need to attract like 1 million people for the value of these lands to go up, you know, for there to be a real solid demand for them. So I would recommend don't rush on this one. June the 2nd, don't go try and pick up some land then. Wait until the, you know, the later minutes. I don't think that it's going to sell out like that. Also, because it's on the Ethereum network, it could be very gas heavy. And the Illuvidex marketplace, is it going to be gas free? It might be, because it might have layer 2 solution. So let me know down below if you're going to be picking up some land. I'm going to be definitely picking up some tier 1 at the very least, getting some element sites and fuel sites to start generating some NFTs and fuel for the game. Okay, well, that's all for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like in the video, hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you guys soon.